versus Western Reserve Rough Riders.
Big time matchup in the Firelands Conference title chase brings us inside the Cougars Den tonight, where Crestview looks to buck the Rough Riders from the ranks of the unbeaten in league play. Against a Sriracha hot Western Reserve team focused on a season sweep of their rivals and a 10th consecutive win. It's pivotal live and free high school hoops on the way from Olivesburg. Coming your way next.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
The Rough Riders of Western Reserve come galloping into the Cougars Den tonight, riding high on a 9-game win streak, but will it continue against a surging Crestview squad? We'll find out together right here and now. Good evening, folks, and welcome to fabulous Olivesburg, Ohio. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined tonight by Effie James, and Eff, we get an opportunity tonight to see one of the hottest teams in all of the Buckeye State. Western Reserve, they have just been crushing the competition after an early season loss to undefeated state-ranked Colonel Crawford, and they score a whole bunch of points.
Right, exactly. It's always nice to see a high school team that can get after it on the court, get up and down the floor, scores a lot of points. I'm really interested to see.
Go ahead and pause for recognition of America and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. So we are all set and ready for action inside of the Cougar Den tonight. Key Firelands Conference showdown between the Rough Riders and Cougars coming up on the way, live and free here on the OH Report. And we already talked a bit about Western Reserve. They're averaging over 70 points per game, and they'll get after you at both ends. Crestview will too, though, and they're off to one of their best starts in a long time, probably since John Kurtz was the head coach here before. Back in about 2010 was the last time that you could look back and see this team having this much success. But they got shellacked by the Rough Riders in their first meeting, Effie. So I think this is a really important game for them, not necessarily just for the league standings, even though it is big for that, but just mentally their approach to the game, understanding that they can compete with one of the best teams in the state.
Well, absolutely. It's always a great, I always took it as a challenge to see a team on the second time in the same season. You get a chance to gauge yourself as a team. Crestview has done very well since that game. So, it's a great marking point for the Cougars and Coach Kurtz right now. So I'm sure they're excited for this opportunity to get after one of the best teams in the league and one of the most highest scoring teams in the area.
And if they're able to do so, they'll probably have to get it done with the play of their two Evans, that being Gibbs and Hamilton. As we take a look here at the starting lineups, both of the Evans in there for the Cougars. And Hamilton, one of the leading scorers in the Firelands Conference, about 19 per game. But on the other side, boy, there are some studs led by Luke Rollinson, who is leading the conference in scoring. 23 points per game for him. He knocks down a couple of triples every single time he steps on the floor, as does John Scrata. So a couple of sharp shooters out there in the starting lineup for Western Reserve as we are underway, and the first tip will belong to Western Reserve, who always looks to spread you out, get the ball into the hands of their playmakers, that being Rollinson, who was off the mark with that first shot.
Well, it's interesting to see Crestview start out man-to-man. A lot of times when you get a high-scoring team, you try to throw a zone at them in the half court. So they're going to go after them aggressively with their man-to-man defense.
And that's exactly what the Rough Riders are going to do against them. They'll pretty much play you man-to-man full court all night. Every now and again, Coach Sheldon says they'll elect to do some things like some traps, try to take the ball out of the hands of kids like this right here, Evan Hamilton. But for the most part, just straight up good old-fashioned man-to-man D, which I know you're a big fan of.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Offensive foul is the call on that one, so it's going to be a giveaway here for the Cougars on their opening possession.
Wow. Yeah, that time he just lowered his shoulder that time by Hunter George. Yeah, I thought it was an aggressive move, but a little bit too much shoulder that time for the referee's sake.
Off the screen. No shot, but now the kick out. And Rollinson launches back iron. Deep rebound. Stays here with the Rough Riders, and Scrata, who attacks, and he's going to head to the free throw line. Take another look here. Nice play by John.
Yeah, nice aggressive move. Goes up strong with the left hand and is able to take the contact. And as we can see right away, the Rough Riders don't waste much time on the shot clock getting those shots up.
So the first attempt is pure. Second one finds its way home as well. First points of the night belong to Western Reserve, and this is where they can really get into their game, is after made field goals, setting up their full court man-to-man D. Cougars, though, able to get away from the pressure, as George being left alone out there on the perimeter, not really known for his shooting ability.
Crestview doing a good job of handling the basketball and looking for that good shot right there.
Was a clean look. Artist with the offensive board. And now George attacking the cup again. This time it'll count, and one.
And that time Hunter George got the basketball, went strong to the lane, took the contact. Nice touch there at the rim.
So George with a chance to cap off a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Good rotation, nothing but net. Rollinson quickly back to work. Working the offensive boards are the Rough Riders. That was Carson Rowe.
Well, that's 2 offensive rebounds already on 2 shots for the Rough Riders, and they attack the offensive boards, and that's one way that you can get away. You don't have to run great offense if you attack that offensive glass.
First free throw, no good. And the second one on the mark. So we're all square, 3 apiece. Just about 2 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Cougars break the pressure, or do they? Jade Munns coming up with it and sends it home. Luke Rawlinson with the flush.
Nice. The Rough Riders in their, what looks like a diamond press, zone press, and they really attacked the rim after that turnover.
Back the other way, Cougars match it. Big bucket right there off the strong drive by Barker. Offensive foul.
That's a strong move there right out of transition, and that was beautiful. Luke Rawlinson getting up on the jam. But right now, Crestview is playing, really they're playing the Western Reserve's game. They don't want to get into this up and down battle. You want to try to control the pace as much as possible, but you can't turn the basketball over like they did their last possession.
2-man game here. Now Hamilton has to give it up. Now Evan backs it out, looking for another screen. It's Artis this time. He gets the switch, goes to work, and jump shot halfway home. Came out on him. Rebound to Scrata. 3 ball on the way. Munns missed it, and the board to Barker.
Well, that's the key to this game is the tempo. They're going to take quick shots, Western Reserve is, but if Crestview can rebound the ball and get good looks on the other end after a great block there by the Riders, but if they can get good looks, they can stay in this ballgame.
Excellent block shot. Leads to Rawlinson on the leak out, and he delivers. Rawlinson off to a nice start, and you know he's going to be aggressive, always in attack mode on the offensive end. Poked away, nice defense there. Trailing by Scrata, able to get a couple fingertips on it. And Coach Sheldon going back to his bench, and he'll do that. He plays 8 guys. He'll have about 3 coming in and out pretty consistently. Try to keep the energy level up on the floor.
Right, their defensive intensity, and you can tell, and even in their half court, they are intense on the ball. They deny in the passing lanes. They play really tough man-to-man.
Past the midway point here of quarter number 1. Crestview looking to answer, and again Hamilton close, but just off target. Another 3 ball on the way. No good on that attempt from Hankins. And the Cougars hold them to 1 and done. Barker thought about the triple from the corner. Now sets it up. Heath Cash from straight away. He found some back iron. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Rawlinson's going to pull up. I think there was nice pressure on the backside from Barker, prevented that from going down. Another look at 3. And we're going to get a foul on the rebound attempt. Take another look at that. Looked like both players probably had a right to it. But right, Barker over the back.
Got him right on the arm. Yeah, got him right there on the arm. But see, Crestview is playing in the game, and, the good thing about playing a team that's fast-paced, you're not going to have to play defense very long, but you do got to rebound. And right now they have given up already 4 offensive boards, so they've got to do a better job rebounding. They're getting Western Reserve to take the shots they want. They're just not doing a good job on the boards.
Rawlinson, quick trigger. Off the mark and working the glass again. Just right place, right time. Nice feed in the lane, but blowing it at the tin there was Lewis.
That was a point-blank look there for Lewis, and he just couldn't put it in.
Hamilton drew the double team. Now they work it. And stepping out of bounds that time off the baseline drive was Mason Ringler.
Well, second turnover already for Crestview, and I think what the pace sometimes can get to you. But to be honest, Crestview is playing a great game. I think they're getting what they want. They're struggling on the offensive boards. 5 offensive boards already for the Rough Riders, and they're only up 2. That is the difference. They're getting them to take quick shots. I think they're contesting their jump shots, but they're just not finishing the possession by getting the rebound.
Certainly feels like this pace and this intensity is going to favor Western Reserve.
Right.
They've just missed a few shots I feel like they tend to make.
Absolutely. And, for Crestview, they are doing good job at work. You can tell they want to work the ball around, get good shots. And I think they can, if they attack the boards, they can get some offensive rebounds, but they are protecting themselves against the transition game, which is potent for Western Reserve. So they got to make sure they're back and not to give up easy baskets. Great game so far.
Here's Hankins being pressured. He's got to give it up. Now they work it side to side. Nice look on the interior. Sweet move, a miss, but tipped in by Adam Lewis.
And yet another offensive rebound there for Lewis as well.
Gibbs at the other end had a pretty nice look. Tried to finish with the right hand on the left side. They'll leave an open shooter. Hankins, this time he finds the bottom. So Western Reserve starting to find their stride at the offensive end.
Beautiful look. He had all day. One of the few mistakes Crestview's made on defense. Left him wide open.
Cash off the screen. Has to give it up now, Ringler. Gibbs, rainbow, came up well shy with that one. As we're down to 90 seconds to play. Look at Rollinson back the other way. Filling his lane like a champ.
Again, great transition offense. You have got to get back on defense for the Cougars, or Western Reserve takes every opportunity.
Ringler, quick move baseline. He'll go off the square for a couple. Big bucket here by the Cougars to try to end that scoring run.
Nice post move that time by Wrangler. He got the ball, took his time, and was able to put it in.
Munns all the way to the cup. Nice shake and bake on the perimeter.
Absolutely.
You see these Rough Riders, they got a few guys out there with the ball in their hands.
Great one-on-one move that time, or one-on-3 moves it ended up being.
That's why they're looking for their 10th consecutive win here tonight, and none of their contests have been close. They have been blowing out the competition. Sick drive right there, though, for Hamilton, and boy, did they need it.
Yes. It's a big bucket there for Hamilton and gets them within 7 points, but they've got to sit down and get a stop here and get a rebound. That's where they have been really, really struggling.
Coach Sheldon says hold for the last shot. That's exactly what they're going to do here with Munns. He's going to pull up from long range, though. And out of play. It's going to stay down here at this end, but just 0.7 to play with for the Rough Riders, who are going to make some wholesale changes here. 3 subs into the contest, so Coach Sheldon must have something drawn up for 0.7.
Look for a quick tip here on a lob play right in front of the basket.
It's exactly what they're going to get, and at the horn, it's off the mark, so that'll take us to the end of one, where it is Western Reserve in control, 16-9.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Back inside the Cougar Den, where second quarter action just about underway. It's going to be Crestview basketball trailing by 7 here against the front runner in the Firelands Conference, Western Reserve, who is off to a nice start. Brian Skronsky, Effie James with you, and in that first quarter, started pretty slow. Western Reserve was getting some second chance looks, but once they found their second gear, Effie, I mean, you can see where they've won 9 straight.
Absolutely. You can see the difference in speed and intensity defensively and in transition for the Rough Riders.
That's a big 3, though, from the corner. Bottoms up for Kobe Roman, fresh off the bench.
That's a big-time 3. That's exactly what they needed coming into the second quarter.
Trims the gap down to 4. But, nope, that's going to be off the mark. That one launched by Scrata. Jump ball the call. Possession arrow favors the Rough Riders.
Scrata got a good look that time, and they are certainly not shy about shooting that 3 ball.
Rollinson straight down Main Street, got clobbered. Take another look at that. Double team and just bam.
Yeah, and I thought that number 20 that won there for Crestview, he was in good position. Owen Barker, he just came down with his arm. He was in great position to just go straight up and straight down, but he came down with his arm and got the hack.
First free throw good from Rollinson. Second one off the mark, and Artis with the board. Artis trying to look inside. They had Barker posting up, and that's the matchup they like. Locked up one-on-one with Munns. As that one finds its way home, rainbow 3, and it's a big one for the Cougs.
That's great offense by the Cougars. They penetrated the lane. Defensive men came and helped, and it was wide open for the 3.
Crestview looking to get some numbers, but they're going to give it away on the travel.
Third turnover on the night for the Cougars, and they don't want to get into the up and down game, but they do want to take advantage of easy opportunities when they can. Just got a little bit too quick for them that time.
2-point Rough Rider lead. They've got the basketball. They've got Rollinson off the screen. Finds a double, gives it up. Great
Nice.
Ball movement, leads to the bunny, and Rowe delivers.
And this is what Crestview's got to do, not get caught up in the up and down of the game. They're down 4. They've got to take advantage of every possession.
Showing some patience right here. Want to get a clean look. And Artis got foul.
Nice. I like the high-low look right here with the post-up and a great entry pass right there inside. Good offense by the Cougars.
Foul's going to go against Jude Munes, his first. Third team foul against the Rough Riders.
We're getting a little testy out there, Brian, and I've noticed a little chippiness, and you could tell this is the teams are not too fond of each other. It's a little chippy out there.
Can you tell this is a big conference game,
yes,
F?
Absolutely.
Crestview with some quarantine issues. They've only played 6 games in the league so far, off to a 4-2 start. But this one, of course, would shake up everything with the Rough Riders 8-0 right now in Firelands Conference action. Barker, offensive foul.
Oh, boy.
Looked like a bit of a flop there by Munns.
It was, but he took it right in the chest. I mean, he may have sold it, but that definitely was a little bit of player control. He took it right in the chest. And sometimes the officials will give a player a call just for being in great position. And that time, Muntz was in great position and took that hit right in the chest.
Hamilton picks him up at half court. Pull up Jay, short corner. Nice touch there from Scrata. Gibbs cut off. Rollinson with some nice D. And then Western Reserve switching everything. Down on the floor is Scrata trying to come up with the steal. I think we're going to get a loose ball foul here. I didn't see a jump ball call.
I think they called a jump ball. I think they did call a jump ball. Possession's going to stay with the Cougars. But you can tell the conflict and offensive theory in both teams. Right here, the Cougars are trying to be deliberate. Another jump ball. The Cougars are trying to be deliberate and work the ball and get a great shot, but Western Reserve is just really imposing their will defensively and making it tough. While on the other end, the Rough Riders are really just trying to get down here, play with pace, and attack the basket.
Case in point right here. Carson Rowe off a nice setup.
That's 2 straight buckets for Carson Rowe. He has been the beneficiary of some great penetration of drive and dish, and he's a great finisher around the rim.
Cougars can't match at the other end. Layup attempt by Wells came up just short. And now Scrata, nice hesitation, draws a double, doesn't care, forced it up. And Wells with the board. You see Western Reserve going under all those screens, switching off. That might be where Crestview can get you if they can find a matchup they enjoy, as that one comes up short from Wells. Back the other way so quickly. Wow. Jacob Jarrett. Biggest lead of the night now for the Riders.
That transition game, they are at the rim in a flash. You truly have to get back if you're Crestview or any team playing this Rough Rider squad. They are looking for those transition buckets.
And I think it might be a lot to do with the rotation. They're keeping 3 bodies coming in and out, so they're fresh when they're on the floor, go hard for 2-3 minutes, and then come get a break.
Right, and you got to have a team that is sold out on that mindset, like, hey, if I play hard, I'm going to get a break, so I don't have to worry about, trying to conserve energy. And that is a tough call, I will tell you. Boy, that's a tough call.
Looked like all ball there for Jude,
yeah,
so I understand his frustration. Ringler can't make him pay, though, with the first free throw. Still has another one on the way.
But, again, I like the fact that the Cougars are staying with who they are. They want to pound the ball inside, work the ball around, and not allow this team to get into their transition game. So they're working it inside to their post guys. Ringler and George are getting a lot of looks inside. They're just not doing a good job of finishing right now.
And it doesn't right there. Misses both free throws. Rebound comes down to Lewis. Here's Rollinson matched up with Gibbs. Gives it off now. Hip spins away from Hamilton, gets by him. Jump shot short from Hankins. Now Evan trying to get something going. Kick out to the corner, it's Gibbs. No Skittles on the other end of that rainbow. Rollinson, man, what a burst with that first step. Miss it at the rim, though. Bodies go flying on the floor as Artis trucks into Rollinson. And it's going to be a foul against Western Reserve, 16 fouls. So both teams now without a foul to give. We'll be in the 1-and-1 bonus from here on out.
And both teams are right now just trying to be aggressive and get to the rim. And, you're not seeing a whole lot of jump shots taken. You're seeing a lot of penetration.
Jarrett trying to check Gibbs, or Hamilton rather, who gets it poked away. Here's Hip, flying to the other end. Makes it a 12-point game.
Wow. Well, I will tell you, this team certainly is exciting to watch. They ball hawk the ball on defense.
It's giving Crestview fits right now. Really struggling in the second quarter, but that'll help. Defender went flying to the floor, and Ringler able to capitalize.
That was a flat-out bully move by Ringler that time. He just bullied his way to the basket and put it in. Wow. Deep three.
Deep one that time. So 30 points now for the Riders as we're under 2 minutes to go here before the break. See if Crestview can try to make some type of mini run, feel a little bit better about themselves before they head into the locker rooms. As Ringler sets up Artis, can't match it. Rebound to hip. Corey lays it off, deep penetration there. Lewis short off the shot attempt, and it's going to be over to Crestview.
Well, and what you have to do, Western Reserve has a great transition game, but they also have a nice secondary transition. So if you don't give up an open layup, they also, on the other side, they'll swing the ball and attack the rim. And when you help, they find open men.
Cougars just do get it in bounds. Hamilton sets up Gibbs. Deep two, well short. Second time he's had an air ball. We'll see if it costs him here. Hankins from the corner, bottoms up.
And that is what you can't do, is take a quick shot and then give up a three on the other end.
So Crestview now trailing by 16. As we're down to the last 45 seconds. Ringler getting in deep. He's had the last couple of buckets here for Crestview. They haven't done much offensively here in the second.
3 layups in a row for Ringler. And, you know, right now Crestview, they're not moving the ball like they were earlier. It's kind of like they're doing a lot of dribbling, and that can get them in some trouble. But as you can tell, Western Reserve is so much fresher because of Coach Sheldon's rotating guys in and out. And they look to be wearing down the Cougars right now as they look for the last shot.
Yeah, it almost looks like Crestview trying to catch their breath here, allowing them to hold for the final shot of the half, and that's exactly what Western Reserve is going to do as they check the clock. We're down to 5, going to work. Pull-up J for Jarrett. Off the mark, strong board, but the putback misses for Lewis, and that will take us to the half. Big-time second quarter for Western Reserve, has them on top by 14. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will have some first half stats, break it down for you with some analysis, get you ready for quarter number 3. Keep it here. Live and free high school hoops action will return exclusively on the OH Report.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
It's halftime here inside of the Cougar Den, where after 2 quarters of action, Western Reserve finds themselves on top 33-19 with a big second quarter push. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined by Effie James, and here are your halftime stats. Doesn't seem to look right. Effie, maybe I can reload these up for us?
Sure.
But just to break down some of the action, I mean, it was 19-15 after the first quarter,
right.
And then in that second, that's when we saw overdrive for
Right.
Western Reserve in terms of their defensive pressure, forcing you into bad looks, costly mistakes, and then when they get down to the other end, which they do pretty quickly,
Right.
boy, they can convert. They got some dudes.
And that's really what happened. Second quarter, they turned up. They got into their full court diamond pressure defense. They got a couple turnovers out of that, and then they got into their half court being really aggressive with the ball. And I think a combination of two things happened in the second quarter. Crestview started to get a little bit worn down, whereas early in the first, they were working the ball, getting ball reversals, pounding it inside. Whereas in the second quarter, Crestview just started to dribble a lot and was getting one pass and a shot. And all that did was allow the Rough Riders to get out in transition. So it was a combination of both things. The turnovers really hurt Crestview there in the first quarter, and the offensive rebounds were the difference. And then in the second quarter, it was strictly about just the energy of Western Reserve. And at this point, Crestview just couldn't keep up. But I think they have the right game plan. They just got to be able to get back offensively to working the ball. And if I'm Crestview, if I'm Coach Kurtz, I'm telling at least 2 guys, maybe 3, on the shot, just get back. Let's get back, and so we don't give up transition baskets, because right now they're just throwing the ball over their head, getting layups and dunks on their misses. So I got to get my guys back to stop those transition points.
Yeah, and 6 offensive rebounds for the Rough Riders in those first couple of quarters. They didn't convert the first several, but then they started figuring it out.
Right.
They were getting some nice tip backs, nice setups too from Scrata and Rawlinson. So these perimeter guys for Crestview, they've tried to defend them and at times done pretty well. But, it's just the law of numbers and talent out there. They're getting a lot of possessions. You saw 34 total shot attempts.
Right.
It's just kind of a matter of time.
Yeah, and the other thing is when Crestview, shoots, make or miss, Western Reserve is getting the ball out looking to score off their transition. And I think it took a while for Crestview to figure out, hey, they're trying to score. Even if we make a basket, they're still trying to score in transition. So in the times when you do stop them, they have a great secondary break, which, a lot of times you have a primary break, which you go to in transition, but they have a great secondary break where they come down and dribble and break you down off the dribble. And when you help, they dish, and guys like Carson Rowe and Luke Rollinson have been on the receiving end of some penetration, dish, and finish at the rim. This team, I like this type of team, Western Reserve, because they're not fancy. They're simple. They play hard, and they attack the rim, and they take open shots. The game of basketball can be simple if you got guys that are willing to, really buy into your system, and that's what Coach Sheldon has right now.
Certainly helps to have the horses, and right now it is the horses on top 33-19 as the Cougars are out on the floor. Western Reserve only talked in the locker room for about 2 minutes before they came out and got some shots
not
up.
much to talk about.
We'll see how things play out in quarter number 3. We'll step away one more time. We'll be back. Second half action on the way, live and free on the OH Report.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
You are watching live and free boys high school basketball exclusively on the OH Report. No need for paywalls around here. Take the $10 that you could have spent with the other guys. Get you a pizza or something. I'm Brian, joined by Effie James here tonight. And I think it's a big third quarter right here for the Cougars. They're not out of it, but they have to trim down this deficit. You cannot go into the fourth quarter with it showing double digits against a team like this.
Right. They have got to get good shots and get back to that offense they were running in the first quarter and taking care of the basketball and keep Western Reserve off the offensive glass. And I think they got a good shot to get back into this thing.
They shot it pretty well in the first half, just a shade below 50%. That's a wild one, though, from Hamilton, switching to the left over a double team. Nearly came up with an over and back call, but Western Reserve instead gets in the hands of Scrata. Misfired on that one. Looks like Coach Kurtz calling for some type of a set here.
Yeah, and you can tell he really wants to be deliberate and get the shot that they want rather than just dribbling around. This is a good look.
That's cash, normally money from beyond the arc for them.
You know, this is the pace you want if you're Crestview. If you can get Western Reserve to actually run an offensive set, I think that's a win for your defense.
Scrata again, he's 0 for 2 here to start the third quarter as we're about a minute and a half in. Still looking for our first points of the second half. Won't get them here either. Hamilton has been really cold from the floor. And, you know, they've obviously been keying on them. Scrata going to try again, and third time is the charm for John Scrata.
Yeah, that was more their pace. You know, they scored that out of their secondary break. You know, the first two times Crestview got what they wanted. They made them run a set. They missed the shot. But in transition, they're more comfortable. Scrata steps up and knocks down the jumper.
And I love that shooter mentality. Missed his last two, comes down. It's a third possession in a row. He didn't even think about it. Pulled the trigger and came up with it. And now here's John with the thefts. Looking to push the pace. It's only about a 1-on-3. And that foul is going to go against Rollinson. So you see Scrata there. Can't get the finger roll, and then Rollinson all over him.
They have been really aggressive on the offensive glass, and this is what has made the difference in the first. This full court pressure, trying to get the Cougars to speed up the pace here.
Cash off the drive, pulls up, foul line, came up short, rebound to Rowe. Nice look inside, and boy, he's had about 3 setups here in this game. Just too easy.
That is a beautiful pass inside. Nice bounce pass through the traffic.
So the Cougars still scoreless here in the third. They've allowed 4 points. Hamilton can't change it here. Rowe clears, and Munes pushing the pace. Going all the way to the tin. Up and over Artis. And it's a 6-0 run here for the Rough Riders to open up the third. Timeout taken by Coach Kurtz and company. As they can feel it, man, now down by 20. They just took a big shot to the gut.
Yeah, and they are really trying their best to slow the pace. But right now with Munes coming down, and he was really aggressive to the glass, and I thought he got fouled. But he went strong to the basket and finished with the right hand. Western Reserve right now is playing their game, and what Crestview is trying to do is run some offense, you know, and keep them from getting out in transition. But like I told you before at halftime, you've got to give up something as a coach. And I've been on both sides of this where you want to speed the other team up, but I've also been on the side where, like, you got to give something up. I know we want to crash the boards, but sometimes you got to put a couple guys back to stop their strength, which is transition. And right now they don't show any signs of slowing down with the guys that are fresh coming in off their bench.
Well, because unfortunately for Crestview and their fans, while their strength is transition, they're pretty good in the half-court set too.
Right.
You know, they shoot the three pretty well, at least during their previous games. Haven't really got it going from beyond the arc yet, but if they do, I mean, look out.
Well, and if you look at the way they're playing offensively, if I'm Crestview, where they have struggled, where Western Reserve has struggled offensively is when you make them actually run an offensive set. So if you can slow them down enough so they have to run an offense, you got a better chance to get a good rebound and get a defensive stop.
Well, splits some traffic, lays it off, and Owen Barker comes up with the first two here in the second half for the Cougs. Munes, just abusive with the spin move. Pretty play.
That last possession is what Crestview wants to do. You get this pressure, and then you want to attack it on the other end because you got the defense broken down. But there is no quit in this Western Reserve defensive unit. They are all in your jersey on every single pass.
Gibbs attacks. Now gets it to Hamilton from the corner. Evan Hamilton really being shut down tonight, and now he throws it away. Rowe all the way coast to coast off the still. And the Rough Riders continue to ride high here in the third.
Turnover number 8 and number 2 of this half already for the Cougars, and that just gives the transition game life. Nice three-point shot that time.
Finally, Evan Hamilton gets one to find the bottom. Huge three-pointer right there. At least gets it down under 20. But Crestview has a lot of work to do here over the last 3.5 minutes of the third if they want to get back into this game. Rollinson, kind of an ill-advised shot. Munes couldn't save it back in bounds as the Rough Riders, like we've seen them do all night. 3 fresh bodies in for a couple of minutes and 3 over to the bench.
But you notice that time, even though it was an air ball, you notice that time they were trying to run an offensive set. And that is where the Crestview Cougars have got to do. They've got to slow down this transition, make them run some offense, and see if they actually can run it.
Back-to-back turnovers now. Rollinson, or excuse me, that's Scrata from straight away.
You know, and sometimes in the case of Scrata, you just say, oh, I'm just better. I'm just going to make the shot.
No answer for the Cougars, but Hamilton, like an offensive back, picks it off. Hesitation, can't get around the defender. Great pass inside, though, to Barker, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Nice move, strong, taking the contact after the turnover, and that's what the Crestview needs a little bit more. That's only the second turnover for Western Reserve. As fast as they play, that is surprising. They really take care of the basketball. The Crestview took advantage of it and get a chance to get to the line and get some free points here.
Barker does make good on the first, and I see you out there in Facebook and YouTube land. Let us know in the comments section who you cheering for tonight, where are you watching from, and do you think that the Cougars have what it takes to try to get back into this game? They cut it to 20, but man, Munes back at the other end. Huge 3-ball.
That is his third 3 of the night.
Hamilton jump stop in the lane, puts it up. Beautiful play right there, the floater in traffic.
Might have got away with an extra step, but a nice move nonetheless.
Crestview needs to get just about every little break they can. For the last 10 minutes of the game, Rollinson gonna head to the free throw line. There he is, nice step through, and you see 3 white jerseys all have to try to converge to slow him down.
Well, and one thing you could tell about Coach Sheldon's rotation is he brings in 3 fresh guys, but he always leaves in either Rollinson or Munes, guys that can score. But you can tell that those fresh legs are really evident on the defensive end. They really get after it on the defensive end. They're always fresh when they go to their full court pressure or even in their half court sets. The defensive pressure is always there because they keep fresh legs coming in and out.
foul on Scrata on the pressure on Gibbs. Just going to be the third team foul, though, against Western Reserve. And boy, just with how things have gone, about the only way you can really figure that Crestview could get back into this game is if the Rough Riders were to get in some type of foul trouble and they could go to the line, get some points with no time ticking off.
Right.
But not really in any jeopardy of that at this point.
Yeah, and I think Crestview is going to have to, get out of what they want to do, which is run the ball, work the ball, and run some clock. They are running out of clock. So they have got to work harder at getting the ball to the basket and really attacking early in their offensive set.
Gibbs tried to squeeze it inside to Barker on the block. Jump ball. Possession arrow is going to give it back over to the Rough Riders. And boy, after a promising first quarter for the Cougars, they were just down by 4. They scored 15 points. Not a whole lot has happened in the positive section for them since F.
Yeah, it's tough to get baskets against this Western Reserve defense. It's tough sometimes to even get to the rim because of their defensive intensity. But Crestview is hanging. One thing I can say, they are playing tough. Their kids are playing hard. There is no give up in this team. They are playing with pride right now, and they're not giving up easy baskets. It's just that right now Western Reserve is in a rhythm offensively, and it's tough to get them out of it.
They were certainly in a rhythm the first time these two teams played. And Collins, man, that's just a ridiculous pass right there. And just the playmaking ability of the Rough Riders from the guard play has been fantastic.
Right. And they got guys that can finish around the rim, and you could tell they've got great chemistry as a team. They know where their teammates are going to be, and they find them for easy looks.
Gibbs with the air ball. Barker blocked from the backside. It's going to put him at the free throw line. Lewis thought that he caught it clean. Let's take a second look here.
And I think that's what they're going to have to do. A lot more of these offensive rebounds that time. Tough one, but he may have gotten him on the arm, but, good offensive rebound, chance to get to the free throw line.
Crestview unable to capitalize, at least on the first offering here from Barker. Rollinson checks back in. Jared over to the bench. I see Kevin Walker tuning in, cheering on his cousin, number 32 from CC Land, he said. I'm going to assume that's Colonel Crawford land.
I would think so.
Colonel Crawford, the only team to defeat Western Reserve so far this season. And we had a highlight of that earlier in the year, and it was a game where the Rough Riders, they were up huge and then kind of came unraveled down the stretch. And, of course, that was the first matchup between the Sheldon brothers, David and then Chris here. So they made a bet, but Chris wanted to tell me what it was. He said that some things are better left as family matters.
You might want to leave that alone there.
Scrata at the horn. About the only thing that didn't work out for Western Reserve in that quarter, as they are up big 53-28 at the end of 3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. Fourth quarter action on the way, live and free on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Just 8 minutes of action remain on the clock here inside of the Cougars Den, where the Cougars have been more like prey tonight than those on the prowl. trailing here by 25 to open up the fourth quarter, as it has been all Western Reserve in this contest. Brian Skronsky, Effie James with you on the call, but that's a nice way here to start things off if you're Crestview. Take a look another time here as Barker in deep takes the bump.
And Barker, after an offensive rebound, he took the first shot, got his own rebound, and went after it. And, you know, that's the type of tenacity they're going to have if they want to make a move here in this fourth quarter.
Free throw off target, but second possession here for the Cougars. They give it away. Roby off the pass. Now the setup. Scrata up fake. Got two Cougars in the air, and he puts it in.
Scrata really having his way offensively right now. Anything he wants, he's going to take the shot offensively.
Bodies flying around, ends up right place, right time. Evan Hamilton. Scrata going to try one again. Came up short. Long rebound into the hands of Evan. Shot blocked and then volleyballed out for Rollinson. It's going to be showtime. Look out below. Seen it all right there, Effie. Great defense. A hell of a pass on the volleyball spike.
And I think, it was a block/assist, you know, on that. And Rollinson gets up and puts it down on the other end.
Well, that kid can really bounce off the floor. Good size, too, 6'4" in his senior year. Excellent year for him, 23 points per game. And shoots it well, too. 52% from the floor, I think, is what I like most about his stat line.
Yeah, and, you know, I like the fact that, you know, I can see how a team like this is scoring in the 70s because they don't quit. You know, right now they are sitting on a 25-point lead, and I'm telling you, it looks like the first quarter. If you look at their energy, their shot selection, the way they're getting up and down the court, they don't quit. So if you're going to play with them, you're going to have to play with them because they're not going to quit no matter what the score is. And you got to love that. You know, if I'm a coach, I love that.
Rough Riders have heavily used their rotation here tonight. 8 main players into the mix for the Rough Riders. And they have shared the basketball well, particularly over the last couple of quarters. And fighting in the lane. I mean, they are just owning it down there right now. They want it a little bit more.
Right. There is no give in this team. They are attacking the basket. They want the basketball, and it is physical down there. And this second half, the referees have actually let them play a little bit. It's getting physical down inside.
I see he's getting a little chippy in the matchup. Scrata and Hamilton shared a couple of words. Yes. Tip right there. Barker came out, got a piece of it. Wells clears out the side. Nearly threw it away.
You know, Crestview's doing a much better job protecting the ball. They've actually got 3 offensive rebounds here in this quarter alone. So that turnover is going to cost them. But, you know, they are doing what they need to do. But at this point, right now, they have got to string together a lot of stops and get some quick baskets if they want to make a move here in the last 6 minutes of this ballgame.
Defense is going to be key for them if they want to challenge Western Reserve here over the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Strong drive. Jumper, pure.
He has got one of the most complete games I've seen in a while. He can put the ball on the floor. He can pull up, jump shoot. He's a great three-point shooter. Over 20 points a game, and turnover there by the Cougars. But to score over 20 points a game in a high school game, I don't care who you are, where you play, that's putting in some work. And Scrata, you can tell, has got a nice pure-looking jump shot, and he plays on a team where you're going to get your fair share of looks.
And he plays a whole bunch of basketball. Follow him a little bit over the summer months. Member of the Ohio Buckets. And got his own camera crew. His dad down there works for Ashland University, runs the media department over there, and in every game, even during the summertime, I always see Papa John down on the sidelines getting some tape for his kids, so always cool.
That's nice. That makes for nice, for now it's making for nice recruiting information, but later on in life it'll make for nice memories for your family. That's cool to have family involved.
Back the other way, just when the Cougars think they have some momentum, it gets snatched right back. 3 more right there falling for Rollinson. Hamilton has had to force up a lot of shots. Boy, he has been well defended. Crestview needs him to score, though, so wow! 4-point play opportunity on the way for Scrata.
Wow.
He is feeling it, Mr. James.
Scrata with no hesitation off this nice turnaround look and a pull-up. And, again, that chemistry and rhythm that team has. His teammate right there, Rollinson, knew where he would be. Even though he'd done a little twirl on the assist, he knew where he would be, and he stepped right into it in rhythm. Knocked it down.
4-point play executed. How many points is that for Scrata now?
Give me a second. I'll get back to you.
He has been filling it up, particularly in this second half.
Unofficially, I have got 25 points for Scrata right now.
I think he would be my front runner right now for our player of the game. That tonight will be presented by Prestige Kitchen Creations, as Mule's looking to create there with an around the back pass. Rollinson tied up and fouled in the lane.
And they are still, with 3:46 to play, they are still coming in. And, usually this is the time of the game where you see people start to empty their bench because they, trying to get some other guys in. Coach Sheldon is getting his guys. They are still playing hard. They're coming in to play hard. And, I 100% agree with that mindset.
Little up and under scoop shot. Won't find its mark. Leads to a 3-on-1 here for the Cougars. And somehow, some way, the recovery speed forces a TO.
13th turnover tonight for Crestview.
And the Rough Riders pouring it on right now.
One of the things that is really major when you watch, teams play and teams that play with pace as opposed to teams that are trying to get a little bit more done, a little bit more deliberate is, one team, whoever imposes their will is always going to be in a better position. And right now you can see Western Reserve has really, since about the second quarter, they have really imposed their will on this game. And even though I thought Crestview had the right game plan going in, they just couldn't sustain it. And Western Reserve said, no, this is how we're going to play tonight. And because of that, we're looking at they're closing in on 70 points because they have imposed their will on this basketball game.
Yeah, that's right. For the most part, Crestview's kind of fallen into their trap of getting up and down the floor, trying to play a little bit fast and rushed. And when they did try to get into their offensive flow and slow it down, I mean, it was kind of too late as you look at the scoreboard now, and they're down by 32, and that's where it's going to stay as Hamilton, who actually is the best free throw shooter in the league, 90%, couldn't capitalize on that second one.
Well, and that's the thing. When you can't play your way and you're forced to play the other team's way, it is – it could be a bad night, especially when that team plays up-tempo, and that's not your strong suit. And I'm not saying that that may not be their strong suit, but just not against this team.
Nice take right there. So the Cougars building a little bit of momentum. That was Hunter George off the drive. Crestview looking for an easy one there on the leak out. No cherry picking here for Western Reserve.
Wow.
Cougars fans want to travel, not going to get that call.
That time Adam Lewis running hard. That's what you call a rim run. They got a turnover, and he ran straight from rim to rim and got that pass and was going up strong. May have gotten away with a step, but ended up getting fouled on his way up.
For Western Reserve, taking a look at some of their point totals here of late, they're coming off a game where they scored 100.
Wow.
In a 39-point win at home against Plymouth. Scored 85 the game before that, 86 the game before that.
Yeah.
In their first contest against Crestview, they dropped 97 on the Cougars. Beat them down pretty good in that one by 38. And, you know, more of the same right here tonight, Effie. It's a fast-paced team, and when they get it clicking, which so far this season they have just about every night, they're going to be difficult to deal with.
Absolutely, and that's what they do. And the reason why is no matter what the score is or what's going on in the game, after a turnover here by the Rough Riders, they are going to keep coming at you. You know, right now they have this game in hand, but as a coach, it's like, okay, do I have to continue to play the way I play. Now, I'm sure that doesn't make many friends, you know, among the coaching ranks when you have a 20-something lead and you're still playing fast and shooting quick and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's about playing to the strengths of your team. And, you know, I would take a little some funny looks at the coaches' meetings if it means my team is getting better, you know.
Foul here goes against Jacob Jarrett. Puts the Cougars on the line for a 1-and-1 as just over 2 minutes remains here inside the Cougar Den. And no points here as Roman spins out the only attempt.
Crestview has really struggled from the free throw line. Both teams have really struggled, but Crestview has struggled tonight from the line. Unofficially, I've got them for 5 of 13 from the line tonight, so they have really struggled on top of everything else. They can't cash in on the free ones.
Matt Jarrett's going to have his own look at 2 from the charity stripe. He will secure the first point. And Western Reserve looking for 70 points. They'll get there on our My Mechanics scoreboard. As Crestview just about a minute and a half here, see if they can build something positive. That is not going to help build the case.
Well, and as you can see, their defensive pressure, they are in the passing lanes, and that is just how they play. And that has nothing to do with what the score is. That's just a fundamental defensive principle. Get in the passing lanes and dictate defensively, and that's what they've been doing pretty much all night. They've pretty much been telling Crestview exactly where they're going to go with the basketball, and that's what makes it tough on an offense.
Last foul was the 6th against Crestview, so the next one put Western Reserve in the bonus. Roman at least still playing hard out here defensively. All the Cougars,
absolutely,
basically throughout the entire night. I mean, they've tried to match the intensity of the Rough Riders. They're just on a little bit different level.
Well, and I think depth has a lot to do with that, as Jarrett misses the 3, but I think depth has a lot to do with that as well. Not only is there a little bit of a talent discrepancy, but also, you know, the Rough Riders coming in, they're playing with 9, 10, 11 guys running at you, and all of them, you know, may not be able to shoot as well, but they all play tough defense, and that's what makes a big difference when you talk about depth.
They have played 10 here tonight, and just about all of Western Reserve's roster, when they've had their opportunities, have played well in this one. So just 65 seconds is all that remains in between Western Reserve and their 10th consecutive victory, 11th overall in the season. They're not state ranked just yet, but I'm thinking maybe by next week they will be.
Yeah.
Jump ball is the call.
Yeah, I think they got caught in between foul, travel, or I don't think officials knew what to call that time. No, I'll tell you what, in my years of coaching in the OCC, with a 30-point lead, the crowd would be in an uproar. I've been in games with a 10-point lead with a minute to go, and if you shot, the crowd would go nuts. The opposing team would be giving you all kind of side eye.
Well, just taking a look at the recent history and some of the numbers that Western Reserve has dropped on their opponents, they're not too worried about that backlash,
Not at all. That's evident. But the great thing is teams coming in know that. Like, if I'm a coach, I'm telling them, like, you already know. If they get an opportunity, they're going to pour it on. A nice finish that time by Hunter George. If you know they're going to get an opportunity to pour it on, they will.
Those should be the last points of the night. As the Rough Riders going to escape the Cougar Den with a big-time victory. They handle Crestview 70-44 for a season sweep. They are now 9-0 in Firelands Conference play. We'll step away one more time. We will be back with some final stats, break down tonight's contest for you guys, let you know what's coming up tomorrow on the OH Report, and we'll also have an interview lined up with our player of the game. I'll talk with Effie and see if he agrees with me that it should be John Scrata. Drop us a comment, too. Let us know out there in YouTube and Facebook land if you agree, and we will return with that right after this.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
I am now joined by our Prestige Kitchen Creations Player of the Game, John Scrotta, who filled it up for 25 points tonight. And I want to start first with just your leash on offense. I mean, you were a bit of a volume shooter here, but you never lost your confidence. You ended up being the game-high scorer tonight. Tell me about your role on this offense, and how do you view it?
I couldn't hear the first part. Wait, can you repeat it?
Just tell me about your role on this offense and, being able to have the green light to shoot whenever you need.
I mean, my teammates were just able to get me open. Me and Luke Rollinson were the leading scorers on the team, so, we got to score to win the game. So, I mean, we're just doing our jobs.
You guys really are super relentless with your pressure. You're constantly getting after the opponent. You're subbing in and out a lot. Tell me about the pace that you guys play with and how much that propels you to the success that you're having.
We play fast. We bring a lot of energy to the game. We get easy layups on fast breaks off of steals, turnovers, and putting the pressure on people. It gets them out of control and leads to turnovers and scores.
Looks like you guys are having a lot of fun when you're out there sharing the basketball well, and you're a high-scoring team, over 70 per contest. Just tell me, how much have you guys really enjoyed this season that you're having so far?
I mean, we're brothers. We've been together since ball boys. All of us are probably ball boys on the varsity team. So, I mean, we're just doing the same thing we've been doing for years.
You came in as the defending league champions. You're still undefeated in Firelands Conference play. You've been crushing the competition so far. Did you feel like this was a team that could do what you've done up to this point, 11-1 overall, and really just steamroll into Firelands right now?
I mean, we knew coming into this year that this was going to be a very good team. We got players that can do it all. We got rebounders, we got defenders, we got scorers, we got everything, and everybody does their role and everybody contributes to the team, and that's why we're being so successful.
You guys aren't state ranked just yet. I imagine you're going to end up in the top 10 by next week. I think people are starting to take notice. What is the next step, though? What is the next level for this Rough Riders team when you discuss amongst yourselves? Where do you need to get a little bit better? Defensively and rebounding, and actually tonight was probably the best we've done yet this year. We held them under 50 points, was it? Held them under 50 points, rebounded, and we just played good defense. So, I mean, I think we're improving on that in that area, but we still could do better. All right, our player of the game, John Scrotta, presented by Prestige Kitchen Creations. 25 points as they complete the season sweep of Crestview here on the road at the Cougars Den. Thanks a lot for joining us, John.
Yep, thank you.
With over 35 years of building experience, Prestige Kitchen Creations is ready to create a breathtaking new kitchen for you to enjoy with friends and family. They make your vision a reality. Visit prestigekitchencreations.com today.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
So we welcome you back inside the Cougars Den to wrap up our coverage from a big-time Western Reserve win over Crestview tonight. Brian Skronsky, Effie James with you. 70-44 was your final as you're taking a look at the final numbers of the night. And, I mean, there's a lot to really unpack right here, Effie, but what would you say was some of the biggest differences in terms of the numbers? Where did this all fall apart for Crestview, and where did it go well for Western Reserve?
Well, I think for the first thing was the turnovers for Crestview. And, you know, the one thing you're going to have trouble with a team that plays fast-paced anyway because of their transition game. But they had a lot of turnovers throughout the game, and that was a huge difference. And, you know, for Western Reserve, you know, I think they came in with a strong game plan, and they had their way when it came to what they wanted to do with the ball offensively. And, you know, the only chance that Crestview would have had is trying to limit their transition game, and they just couldn't. They just flat could not do it. And I think those are the things that went wrong for the Cougars tonight. And on the flip side of that, Western Reserve was able to get out and do what they wanted to do, was get out open and transition. And as we talked to John Scrata, you know, yeah, he was a volume shooter, but when you get that many opportunities, it doesn't really matter how many shots you take, because if you're getting that many opportunities, I think they had 60 attempted field goals. What is it that you take a couple quick ones, you know?
Yeah, true story. Be glass half full guy for me right now, and tell me what's some positives the Coach Kurtz can go look at on the tape and say, gentlemen, it wasn't all bad.
Well, the one thing that he can look at is to look at his team and say, to the end, they played hard. And that's one of the things that I noticed, because I like to watch a team's effort in both situations, whether you're winning big or losing big. And I thought from beginning to end, I thought the Cougars played with everything they had. You know, they were a little bit lacking in depth. You know, matchup-wise, they didn't have the depth, but they played hard. And if I'm Coach Kurtz, I'm looking at this team and I'm saying, okay, right now we see what we've done wrong, and now we can build from here. We can build on some of the things they've done well. Early in the game, they worked the ball around. They were to get some post entries. A couple kids, number 44, Mason Ringler, and Hunter George had nice post moves inside. That's something that you can build on. And if you're that type of team, you have to build on those things. So, you know, they've got some things that they can work with here in Crestview, and there's some teams. Obviously, they've won up until this game. They had won 4 of the last 5 games, so they've got some solid basketball players. They just kind of ran into a buzzsaw tonight. But you have got to. If I'm Coach Kurtz, I'd let this thing go. I don't even watch the video. I just keep going and keep my attitude positive and work for the next game.
And then for Western Reserve, obviously, I mean, they got it cooking. They are clicking on all cylinders right now. What would you say was most impressive about what you saw from them tonight?
Their relentless play. It's been a while since I've seen that. You know, even, you know, you watch some bigger schools play, and, you know, I've seen a lot of Tiger games, and even more recently you watch Ashland play, and teams like that would play with a lot of pace. I was impressed. They play with some of the most intense defense that I have seen in a long time, regardless of the division. and I was surprised and impressed with their intensity and their skill level. I mean, they got so many guys that can handle the ball, shoot the ball. So, you know, they've got a nice thing going over there at Western Reserve, and I'll be interested. I'm certainly going to follow what they're doing. They're a great team to watch play.
They will have a nice ride home on the bus to Collins as 70-44 victors. They take care of Crestview for the second time this season and remain unblemished in Firelands Conference play as they are now 9-0, 11-1 overall. It's going to wrap up our coverage here from inside the Cougars Den. Want to thank our team for making it all possible. Blake Phelps running our camera tonight. We had Zach Finley tracking some stats, along with Effie James, who was my fantastic color guy. Adam Thompson builds all the graphics. My name's Brian Skronsky. I was director and caller tonight. Thanks for watching. Coming up tomorrow, you can see live streams beginning at noon on the OH Report. We've got Bucyrus at Upper Sandusky Girls, followed by Fredericktown at Mount Gilead Girls and Mount Gilead at Centerburg Boys at 2:30. And then our Matt and Nay finale is Temple Christian at Mansfield Senior Boys. So the live streams roll along on the OH Report. You'll catch us there too. But for now, we out.